Welcome back, guys, to that Flight Sim channel. This is Captain Gonzo here, and as you can see, we're back on the Grand Duke. No surprise there. We've been talking about this plane now for a while, and we promised some more videos, so making it quick. Today we are going to be showing a single engine approach. We're going to have pretty much an engine failure here during flight, and I'm going to be referencing the engine failure in flight checklist that BlackSquare gives you. So we just took off out of St. Petersburg-Clearwater Airport here in western side of Florida, and we're just north of Tampa. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and induce a failure on my number 2 engine. So here we go. Let's cut engine number 2. Alright. Looks like we just lost engine number 2, so let's quickly bring up that checklist. You can see the autopilot still flying, trying to maintain stable and level flight. So the airspeed is critical, maintaining at least 112 knots. An operative engine identify. So right now we can see by the low thrust detector on the propeller handle here for the right that the right engine is the one that's failing. So we know that already. So in-op engine throttle, let's go ahead and close it. In-op engine propeller feather it. So we're going to bring that back to the feather position. Actually get it to feather by manually putting it in position. There we go. Fuel selector. We're going to make sure that the in-op engine is set to crossfeed. There we go. In-op engine magnetos, check both. They are on the both. There's the propeller. In-op engine boost pump on. Now keep in mind, this is if you're going to try to restart the engine. In my case, I'm not going to do that, but we're going to go through the checklist anyways. And it wants us to set the in-op engine mixture to rich and then lean, and then engage the starter for that right engine. Now, continuing with that checklist, if the in-op engine does not restart, turn off the boost pump for that engine. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to go ahead and start turning us around back to Clearwater, St. Petersburg. So the boost pump is off. In-op engine mixture, full rich. We'll put it to rich. In-op engine magnetos, check both. And engage the starter again with the magnetos. But again, let's just go ahead and skip through that. So no restart. Nearest airport, we have selected PIE. Again, St. Petersburg, Clearwater. In-op engine fuel selector off. So we'll go ahead and set that one to off. In-op engine boost pump going off. It is off. In-op engine magnetos to off. So again, simulating that we've tried to restart it. No joy. We'll go ahead and keep it off. And the in-op engine generator is off, which of course is the right hand one. Cowl flaps open. So we'll go ahead and start opening those cowl flaps while we turn around. And as you can see, we're still maintaining 140 knots indicated here. So the Duke is more than capable flying itself with one engine, so not bad at all. Alright, and it wants us to go through and continue with the cowl flaps opening. And the last thing is to look at the generator load and make sure that there is a maximum of 0.75. So right now we're on the left generator, and you can see we're just shy of 0.5, which is good. So we're not anywhere close to that max. So we're just cruising along, guys. Now we're going to try to make our way back to PIE. Now keeping in mind, there are a few figures we got to remember. In case we were to lose the second engine here, or the first engine, I should say, engine number 1, our best glide speed, or VG, is 115 knots. So what you would do is, obviously, you lose the engine, and you would try to maintain your airspeed indicator right there just aft of the VMC blue line, and it would be at the 115 mark. And again, you control that when you have no engines, your pitch for airspeed, and of course if you had throttles, your throttles for altitude. But just remember that, guys, your best glide is 115 knots. So let's take a look. I believe I see St. Petersburg Airport over there. Let's go ahead and disengage the autopilot. Now keep in mind, guys, now we're operating on one engine, producing all the power, all the torque. So you can see how my turn and slip coordinator, the ball is way off. So what we can do is, to help us so that we're not fatiguing ourselves, is let's go ahead and get some rudder trim in there. So there we go. We're just using that rudder wheel. And look at that. My pedals are neutral. And we're back in good, stable, controlled flight. Now keep in mind, guys, this is going to change as you begin your actual approach and descent to land, because obviously you're going to be applying power, and as the torque increases, you're going to want to see that yaw pushing you towards the side of the in-op engine. So in this instance, we should expect to see the aircraft kind of pulling right. We'll keep this descent going. And just an FYI, guys, this is my first time trying this on the Duke, so I don't know what to expect. Let's go ahead and open up the left engine cowlings flaps. Now remember, guys, in real life, you've got a couple options here. So we have a good, healthy operational engine, even though we lost engine number 2. So if you were to declare an in-flight emergency, which I believe a engine failure prompts that, then you should take priority. And anything ATC instructs you to do so, hopefully it's in your best interest to get you back to land as quickly as possible. So, one thing I learned in flight school that one of my instructors told me one time, it's like, hey, when's the one time that you can disregard ATC instructions? And I thought about it, and I couldn't come to think about it. And he said, in an emergency. He's like, in an emergency, the world's yours, man. He's like, you do what you want. Now, of course, if you end up landing on a military installation, good luck to you, because that'll be interesting. Alright, so I see the airfield there. So, winds today at PIE were at 180 I think they were 110 at 8 knots. So, runway 18 is a good, suitable runway to approach. We're coming over the water here, and we're maintaining a little bit higher altitude, but again, we're on one engine, so I prefer that. And as we get near the airport, let's go ahead and shut off the AC. Let's shut off the prop sync since we've got a failed engine right now. And guys, we're only going to use the approach setting of the flaps today to land. Again, I don't want to be causing too much drag with just one operative engine. And we did have at least half gas tanks right now. Yeah, we've got north of 50 gallons on each side. So we are pretty heavy. We're simulating carrying about 4 passengers. So I got to try to maintain as much airspeed as possible. Let's start slowing it down here. See how we can do this. Alright. So a little bit high. No worries. We'll bleed off the airspeed here. Alright, looks like we're crossing 160 knots. Just shy of it. Gear coming down. There we go. And let's go ahead and get that approach setting of flaps down. So here comes the tricky part, guys, because we're going to be applying power to maintain controllable airspeed here. Just got to keep an eye on that airspeed, guys. And you can see it's getting a little bit difficult here under the slow airspeed, trying to maintain that nose correct here. But so far so good, and again, especially over water, I'd rather stay a little bit higher than normal, just to ensure that we're going to make the runway. And who knows, if we already lost engine number 2, who's to say we're not going to lose engine 1 here shortly, so let's play it safe. For landing, 3 green, flaps in the approach setting. Looks like we're good, guys. We're committing. And then we're just easing off the rudder here a little bit. There we go. So we've made the runway. That's a good thing. Now let's see. Let's put her down. Just floating along now. Oh, there we go. A little bounce, but you know what? We're in an emergency situation here, so I think we're allowed a little bit of leeway. But there you have it, guys. We touched down safely with an in-op engine right now. And of course, keep in mind, we did not try to restart the engine because it was a purposely recreated or simulated engine failure. So we were able to handle the aircraft, maintain good control. And guys, let me be honest, this aircraft is not that difficult to maintain control with, even with an in-op engine. So if you guys want to try this out for yourselves and get some practice, definitely do it, man. Just get up in the air, get some good altitude, and then just dump the mixture on one of the engines, or heck, even go to the tablet here, and you can set, you know, your rates for failures and stuff like that, and how soon, how frequent, and then you guys can really test yourselves. So definitely encourage you to do that. I haven't messed around with that yet, but I'm sure that BlackSquare really threw in some good scenarios there for us to practice our skills. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. This was a quick video just showing you how to handle the Duke, particularly just the piston Duke here on the Grand Duke version, and how to handle a engine failure in flight. So stay tuned, because we're going to be doing more videos like we said, and we appreciate all the feedback, all the support you guys are giving us, all the new subscribers. Welcome aboard. If this is your first time, just keep clicking subscribe. Make sure your notifications are on, because we are trying to pump out videos now a little bit more frequently. So thanks again, guys. This is Captain Gonzo with that Flight Sim channel. Check it out. Happy flying.